Okay, so we're the team from the University of Cambridge, and we're excited to join you today to talk about our proposal for a sustainable timber real estate investment trust. We're focusing on accelerating the adoption of sustainable building technology. And the challenge that we really wanted to focus on was the climate impact of urbanization. So by 2050, it's predicted that an additional 2.5 billion people will be moving into urban environments. And that's going to require infrastructure and real estate that's going to add an additional 100 billion tons of CO2 emissions to our environment. And so we want to tackle this problem by looking at the actual value chain of all the different components. And we wanted to focus in on the material supply chain and move the conversation from the development side to the investment side and look at different financial vehicles that we can use to kind of make change throughout the value chain. Because right now, traditional materials are being used for our buildings, but new advancements in engineered timber can really be a sustainable solution for the built environment. And this engineered timber is tested technology with precedence up to 18 stories, has positive climate change impact with up to 15% reduction in CO2 emissions. It's cost competitive even at the moment, and it meets the requirements for responsible forest management systems, which are a key component. And in terms of actually creating these structures, there is strength and stability in these large timber elements that are being used. And they've been tested to the same criteria that concrete and steel is being tested with a 2-hour fire rating. And because of this, they're going to be adopting an 18-story limit in the International Building Code in 2021. And places around the world are already adopting this. We've seen buildings popping up in Canada, Australia, Norway that really are showcasing the potential for this kind of large mass timber, engineered timber. And we believe that the UK is a great starting point to accelerate this adoption and really showcase what can happen by putting the investment here. Over to you, Ang.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. So our team would like to propose sustainable timber REIT to unlock the existing bottlenecks and drive the timber adoption worldwide. So currently, all the real estate investment trusts listed in the London Stock Exchange has a thematic investment focusing on the type of properties they invest, such as industrial or commercial. But our sustainable timber REIT has a different thematic investment, which will focus on the construction material instead. So this REIT will invest only in the timber building, and we plan to partner up with the multi-developers sponsor with the first right of refusal to buy the timber building from them. And that building has to meet with our investment criteria as well. And our target asset includes the build-to-rent residential properties and also the grade A office in the urban areas, in which that the building has to generate the income at the time of the acquisition. Moving on to the next slide about the impact. So in the short term, we anticipate that our REIT will mobilize capital from the investors to the timber building developer and can incentivize our partner developer to replace the traditional materials with the timber materials. In the longer term, we believe that this REIT can raise the public awareness of the sustainable materials to the real estate players and also drive the timber cost down due to the economy of scales. And eventually, our sustainable timber REIT will accelerate the worldwide adoption of the timber building. And therefore, our REIT will fulfill the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. We anticipate that the carbon emission will be reduced by 50%, and also the waste material from the construction will be reduced by 20%. Moving on to the investment highlight. So our REIT will be structured to offer an attractive investment to investors. This is because we target to capture the growing demand of grade A office and residential property in the urban area, and also the growing demand in the green building as well. Also, we aim to offer the competitive returns similar to what REIT listed in the London Stock Exchange now, offering, which is around 4 to 6% of the dividend yield. However, our REIT will further provide a mitigation on the potential carbon tax on the real estate sector and also to address the climate problem. Last but not least, our REIT will also have a strong growth potential to acquire new assets. In conclusion, our sustainable timber REIT is a lockstep innovation that provide competitive financial return with tangible global climate impact. And this innovative climate solution is ready for the global adoption. And now is the time to discuss what our future will look like. Thank you for your attention, and now the floor is open for your question.